Have you ever stopped to wonder why the face of Jesus, a man born in the Middle East, is so often depicted as a blue-eyed, fair-skinned man from Europe? It's a question that has puzzled many, and the answer takes us on a fascinating journey through history, art, and power. Let's unravel this mystery together. To start, let's establish a baseline. Geographically and historically, Jesus was born in Bethlehem, in the region of Judea, which is in modern-day Palestine. The people from this part of the world, then and now, are typically olive-skinned, with dark hair and dark eyes. So the popular image of a white Jesus simply doesn't align with the historical and anthropological evidence. Forensic anthropologists have even tried to reconstruct his face based on skulls from that era, and the result is consistently a man who looks far more like a modern-day Middle Easterner than a European. So where did the white image come from? The story begins as Christianity spread from its Middle Eastern roots into Europe. Early Christian art was actually quite diverse. In places like the catacombs of Rome, you can find depictions of Jesus that are more in line with his origins, a simple, olive-skinned shepherd. But as the religion took hold in the Roman Empire and later across Europe, a major transformation occurred. This shift wasn't a sudden change but a gradual evolution. During the Byzantine era, Jesus was often shown as a powerful, majestic ruler, but it was during the Renaissance in Europe from the 14th to the 17th century that the image we are most familiar with today was truly cemented. European artists naturally painted what they knew. They used local models and depicted biblical figures in a way that would resonate with their European audience. Think of Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper or Michelangelo's work in the Sistine Chapel. These masterpieces presented Jesus and other biblical figures as white Italians because that was their context. This wasn't necessarily a malicious act at first. It was a way of making the divine relatable to the local culture. However, this artistic choice had profound and lasting consequences, especially as European powers began their colonial expansion. The image of a white Jesus and a white God became a powerful tool. It was exported around the world along with colonial armies and missionaries. This image implicitly suggested that whiteness was closer to God, that divinity itself was white. It created a hierarchy where European culture and appearance were seen as the standard, as the most civilized and holy. This helped justify the subjugation of non-white peoples across Africa, Asia, and the Americas. The message was clear. We are bringing you a savior who looks like us, and by extension, you should adopt our ways. One of the most infamous and direct examples of this is Warner Salmoni's Head of Christ painting from 1940. This image of a gentle, soft-featured, and very white Jesus became one of the most widely reproduced religious images in history. It was distributed in the millions by organizations and even handed out to American soldiers during World War II. For many people across the globe, this painting became the definitive face of Jesus, solidifying the idea of a white savior in the modern consciousness. So the image of a white Jesus isn't based on historical fact, but on centuries of European art, cultural interpretation, and the dynamics of power and colonialism. Reclaiming the historical reality of Jesus as a man of color from the Middle East is not about being divisive. It's about seeking truth and accuracy. It is about deconstructing a version of history that has been used to marginalize and devalue non-white people for centuries. Understanding that the image we have been shown is a cultural construct allows us to see the story in a new, more inclusive light, one that reflects the true diversity of our shared human story. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration. If this topic sparked your curiosity, please hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.